It's a presentation about the review of the last year and an outlook in Greenpeace France and for wegreen for the actual year. And share you maybe some strategic points and strategic feelings about how we push wegreen, what we try to do with this platform, and maybe I hope it will help you in some reflections. Just a quick reminder: we did have wegreen as Greenwire France before the migration during 5 or 6 years, still from 2014, and it was used as an internal communication tool and only with the local group at the first time. But we decided to follow the migration and did it in January 2020, and we migrate to open source and rebranded the name to wegreen. Almost one year after, we launched it around a project which the name is Green Resistance. We create a team inside the Greenpeace France, which the name is Open Campaigning Team. And the idea of this team is to propose some tools and help for people who want to engage on green issues at the local level. And these people could be association, local collectives, or lonely people. And we would like to propose 2 platforms. The first one is Green Voice, which is Control Shift for Greenpeace France, and the second one is wegreen. So what happened during the 6 months after the launch? So it's the first semester of last year. Actually, we identified that wegreen was an attractive platform. We saw an increasement of the number of users. The number of accounts doubled in a year, in August 2020 to August the following year. And even after the launch, the growth momentum has been maintained. 65% more accounts during the second trimester 2021, rather than the same period in 2020, sorry. And we see also that people was very interested and expressed their interest by arriving in the platform. So it was attractive, but because there is a but, the platform doesn't live up to its promise. Sorry, the graphic is in French. You have in light blue the number of accounts month per month, and you can see that the increment I talked about. But in dark blue, the column is the number of users which are logging during the month. So there is a peak in November during the launch, but the number reduces month per month to raise finally the same level of logged in user rather than the precedent period. So an attractive platform, but a big difficulty to keep them loyal in the platform. So what was the promise, and where are the failing? The premise was wegreen is the social network of the green resistance. So if you go to wegreen, you can engage into action, participate in events near your home. You can meet other people ready to act. So the premise is very high level, and we meet finally 2 main breaks to keep the strategy a success. The first break is external to our volunteer. The poverty of local events during the health crisis, which didn't help, because the idea, the strategy was to identify all the local events and to push them on the platform in order to create engagement from people who are alone at a local event, local level, and who may able to engage themselves thanks to the local events who are promoted to the platform. But there was a big health crisis, global crisis, and there was much less events that we hope. And the second break is totally internal. Internal because it's totally related to our strategy. The association and local collective we target didn't really engage themselves on the platform. They didn't handle the wegreen, and it's totally related to our strategy because we put we would like to raise too much ambition with our strategy. We would like to raise 3 key audiences. The first one is the volunteer from the local groups who have a historical audience for this platform. The second one is the local association, collectives, grassroots movements, which can totally use the platform as an internal communication tool, as the local groups from Greenpeace do. And a third audience, which are the lonely people who want to act. And the idea was to create links between all this audience and create engagement. But by seeking to engage such heterogeneous audiences, the engagement path was complex to build, and wegreen became unreadable. It was very difficult to propose a platform who is totally adapted to the needs of these 3 different audiences. So finally, we proposed something which fits a lot with the needs of the third audience. But the second one wasn't very help to engage and to understand what is wegreen and what is proposed behind the platform. So at the summer, last year, at the summer, we made a big workshop in order to question the strategy and to understand where we want to go. So we make a SWOT, and I will share here some results of a SWOT. About the platform usefulness, the strengths we identified is that wegreen allow community organizing features, very helpful for us. And those features can be also helpful for local association. But it's not a very innovative tool. There is a hard competition in terms of internal communication tool and community organizing tool, and a lot of actors will use Telegram, Signal, Facebook groups, or Google channel, etc. So there is here a question of innovation. About image and audiences, the plus are a non-GAFAM platform. This is a big argue. The platform we propose are totally GAFAM free, so with data protection, with a real attention to this. Another plus is the promise of an ecological and human local network, which we had identified this as a big plus. But in another hand, the tool is very Greenpeace centered. It can be viewed as an old people tool, not very, young, and too ambitious. As I said, we are targeting too many people at the same time. About features and technical aspects, wegreen, it's many features already available, and some important future features. At that stage, we made the SWOT, the application, the mobile app was a very big expectation. We hope, but the improvement also of a private messaging system and a lot of things we can be added to the tool. It's also a modular tool on which we have a real control. At the difference of Facebook, Twitter, Signal, we don't have a hand on it. The weakness, in the other hand, the platform is still too slow, and with the application, we see that the slow of the platform is terrible, and there is no very innovative features. There is no on wegreen. The features, we don't find it on any other platform on the world. This feature doesn't exist. So there is no something else on this technical proposition. About user ownership, we see a quite good appropriation by the Greenpeace volunteers, but it depends on the groups. There are groups very engaged on wegreen and other groups who are more distant. Another plus, it's possible to debate and to discuss with respect. It's not the case on Twitter, on Facebook, on other places. So and we try to continue make this space safe. But getting started can be very tricky for new becomers, and the platform is not always intuitive. Some feel lost in the navigation of the platform. And last slide about our SWOT, about staff ownership this time. We see a big potential for campaigns to search some profile about skills, for example, to add online training, to engage people on cyber activism strategies, projects, about inter-association work, etc. The idea of safe space, I talked about it yet, and the qualification potential also in database, because the people can go to the platform and deliver some information. We can also add in our database, for example, where they live. But in the other hand, some people from the staff, including webbies, can say, again, one more tool to be seized, and it's sometimes difficult to engage them. Sorry. Now after this work, this SWOT, and we would like to question the users and to have also a put on view from the users themselves. So we launched a survey in September or October. Sent it to 2,000 people, collected 150 answers, so a participation of 6%, which is not a lot, but interesting to interesting to see. So the users who answered are probably the most engaged. So it's not very representative of all the users, but give interesting information. What we see. So we propose people to give a global rate of wegreen, and people give en moyenne 3 points on 5. So 1 point is the platform is terrible, absolutely don't fit to my needs, and 5 is the platform is super and totally fit to my needs. So we are in the middle with 10%, 30% of people who gave 1 or 2, 37% who give 4 or 5. So the platform totally divides people. Some users are totally satisfied with it, others are not. It really depends on how much they engage on the platform. We propose them also to rate feature by feature. So you have some notes here. The feature which has the best rated topic, events, which is a lot used also. The worst rated search system, which maybe doesn't fit totally to their needs, very difficult to find information, to refine some resources, etc. But you can see that all the rates are very close. They're close. We ask them also which feature are the most useful for them, and the most used feature are notification, mainstream, and groups. You can see the percentage of users who respond to the pool who use them, and the feature which was the least used, search member system, private message, and topic. But you can see that we have important percentage. So even if it's the least used feature, they stay feature which has very used finally. In a qualitative point of view, users share with us the strengths and the weakness they identified for wegreen. About the strengths, so what we need to keep, they express that wegreen is an ethical platform, green, GAFAM-free, without advertising, and with a real data protection policy, which is very interesting to in my opinion, to push, because this is the thing which makes the difference from Facebook, Twitter, Google, etc. We are not competitive at all about the features, but we are very competitive in the ethical point of view. Even if it's wegreen is not a free tool, it's yeah, ethical. A place for sharing information and pooling resources. A lot of users say that they use wegreen more as a place where they will find resources rather than a place where they interact with other people. And finally, they use more Telegram to very quick interaction. So we really need to develop the needed features in order to propose a complete tool in wegreen, which includes a real system of quick messaging channel, etc. A communication channel allowing volunteers groups to organize and exchange quickly and efficiently. The idea here is organize. So it's a tool which has been identified as as interesting in the community organizing needs point of view. It's also a place of contact to facilitate the transit to action, and it's the event management feature is also identified as a big plus. The event functionality and the possibility of managing registration are real strengths. But there is also a weakness, or if we want to stay positive, improvements points. What we need to work on, we need to work on ownership, help to take ownership of the tool, make it simpler, more intuitive, and strengthen user support. We also need to encourage the interaction. The mobile application will, in my opinion, bring a big plus on it, but it will not enough, I think. A real chat system, an online collaboration feature, an agenda or a calendar can also help. We identify also the need to send fewer and better quality notification in order to outline the most relevant information, because a lot of users complain to receive a lot of so much notification, sometimes because they don't setting the frequency of the notification. But it's true that we don't see the relevant information on the system notification system. And simplify the search of information, because if going to wegreen to collect information is one of the first needs for volunteers, we should be stronger on it. So purify the personal news feed. By purify, I would like to say that a lot of users see a lot of contents that are totally not related to what we want to follow. For example, other contents which are shared outside any group, and which can be seen by any users. This kind of content can be not relevant for people, but also improve the search functionality and the quality of navigation. And other improvements, page loading speed, problem with translation, and function of sending email in a group. And there is some more, but I don't detail here. So we are strong with this SWOT, with this user review, and we decided to create, to renew our strategic direction. So this strategic repositioning is have to aim to simplify the tool. Simplify by reducing the focus on two key audiences: the audience 2, local associations, local collectives, and the audience 1, GP volunteers, which remain central. Simplify also by adapting the editorial line to audience 2, which wasn't the case until now, because we was very focused. We were very focused on the audience 3 in the welcome pathway, in the engagement pathway. So we had to modify this. And simplify the tool also by simplifying the navigation, the menu bar, the home, the taxonomy. So we already work on it, but we don't have finished at all. At the end, what we want is a readable platform, a clear platform, and it won't be the social media of green resistance anymore for now, but the community organizing space for all green volunteers. So we are focusing on the two audiences I explained, who are people who are already organized into groups, Greenpeace or not Greenpeace. And we would like to push 2 arguments which are particularly interesting and for us, because these 2 arguments distinguish totally wegreen from any other tool already used by these actors. The first one is an ethical organizational tool beyond the control of their firm. And the second one, a space for connection, pooling, and inter-associative support. So this is our main strategy for this year. And I hope we will raise results more successful than last year. So priority for this year, a platform that meets the needs of our audience. So push mobile app, improve the private messaging space, promote the instantaneousness of exchange, all over creation of storage space, optimize translation, simplify the use of the tool, improve navigation. There is, in a technical point of view, a lot of things we can do to improve the tool. The second thing is a tool better handled by users. So we also need to have a better technical support by organizing video, visio presentation and training regularly for the newcomers, by updating our welcome video also, and by communicating better on new features and improvements as they appear. And third point of our strategy, and I will finish the presentation on the slide, engage our priority audience on wegreen, audience 1, audience 2. For the first one, we would like to create a greater dynamic of adherence to the platform, and in particular for local groups who are turned away from the tool. And for the audience 2, to encourage this audience to adopt wegreen as an internal communication tool. And finally, the level of satisfaction of the local groups already using the tool is a good indicator to know the right moment to push wegreen to this audience, this broader audience.